Hello, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you're listening to VCR. Hey, Roxy, how you doing?
Hello, I am great.
Awesome. Day going well for you?
Well, it's going. So
It's going. Yeah,
it's almost over. So no.
mine is going almost over. I got a few more things to do tonight, then I'm done and all that good
Yeah.
stuff. But we'll just jump right into it. So we watched a Netflix movie today, and not a Christmas one. It is still the Christmassy
No.
kind of season, but we didn't do that. So we ended up watching Subservience, which
Yeah.
was surprisingly really good. I'm not gonna say it's the best Doomsday movie out there, but it is a good one because it all leads up to kind of like a Doomsday situation. Uh, but
It could have easily turned into one.
yeah, it really did. It really well. In the end, it kind of does
Oh, right. It
turn into
alludes to
one.
that,
Yeah,
right?
it alludes to the fact that it's about to become a Doomsday situation. So let's kind of jump into it. This is a really well acted movie. Megan Fox is the lead.
Mhm.
Well, in a way, she's the lead. Really, the
Yeah,
guy
he's the
playing Nick is
lead.
kind of the lead in here. But Megan Fox was just amazing in it. And I have to say, Megan Fox looks stunningly beautiful in this movie.
Hmm.
Like in a way where I have never seen. She's always been beautiful, but I've never seen her like as stunningly beautiful as she looks in this movie, which was just mind blowing. So, um, Michael
Marone.
Marone plays Nick, who is basically this foreman for a construction site type of thing. And what ends up
And
happening,
ladies, if you remember him, he's the hot guy from 365 Days, also on Netflix.
oh, okay, have not seen.
Very steamy, very steamy.
Mhm. So what happens is Nick here is married, has a family, just they just had a baby, and the wife develops these huge health complications that require her to get a new heart type of situation. Now, he can't do it by himself, so he goes out, and apparently, in this time in the world, you can buy what are Sims, which is basically
A robot.
androids, a
It's a
robot,
robot.
a very human looking
It's
robot
a
that
fancy
has,
Tesla robot.
yes, it can do everything and anything that you need it to. And he ends up buying the Megan Fox robot, who they name Alice after the daughter's book Alice in Wonderland. So she is Alex and Nick is Nick. And of course, his life is becoming a little bit easier now that Alice is there while the wife
Yeah.
is in the hospital. Now, that was a little misleading to me because when all that happened, they didn't clarify in the beginning that she was still in the hospital.
I know,
So
I thought she had died.
yes, I thought she had died too, and then all of a sudden, boom, we have the wife still alive, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that was kind of a weird twist. So it's kind of like something that happens early on in the movie, so it is important. Now, wait, excuse me. So what ends up happening is that been a long day. What ends up happening is the Alice is doing everything, taking care of the kids, helping out cooking, doing all this and stuff, but she's doing it a little too well.
Yeah.
Um, she's becoming a little too in tuned to Nick's needs because
Needs
yes, yeah,
location.
she's scanning him all the time and
Yeah.
trying to figure out what it is she needs to do to make him happy. But part of the issue is this, and Nick does something to kind of set everything into action. And what
Hmm.
it is he's drunk and he's watching the movie Casablanca, and he says my favorite movie and blah blah blah, and he's trying to explain. He asks Alice, have you ever seen it? Well, she knows it because it's programmed in her.
Hmm.
And then what happens is, he's trying to explain the love between, the characters in there,
Hmm.
and she's not really grasping it. So he tells her to delete everything she knows about that movie
Yeah.
from her memories. And she doesn't want to at first, but then he makes her do it, mostly because he's drunk. And then he powers her down and powers her back on. Now, when she powers on, something has happened. She apparently deleted probably more than just that movie, is what we find out later on. She deletes some of her primary restraints type of thing.
Hmm. Some of her
So,
coding and things like
yeah,
that.
things like that. So, what's happened is she is now, all the things that were restricting her, she is now becoming more aware of things. Uh, a weird understanding of what you're supposed to do to protect others and stuff like that. So it starts this slow progression into the movie that's really, really good. Uh, because eventually, she starts reading them so well that she wants to take his stress away. And the weird thing is, like, the robot is now trying to seduce her master. And
Yeah.
it wasn't the other way around. It wasn't like him trying to get with her. Like, the robot did everything to make this happen, including kind of like blindfolding him and replicating his wife's voice.
Hmm.
So the robot is misleading him to kind of go into this situation. And it was really interesting. So then the robot actually starts acting like a jealous girlfriend, like
Yeah.
a psychopath jealous girlfriend.
It really
I
was.
mean, she really, really was.
I give her kudos. Like she played this role very well.
She did. She really
I
did.
really feel like she did. Her little movements, they were
Hmm.
very robotic.
Yes.
The hilts and stuff. I was like, okay, it's believable.
Her emotionless face, which,
Hmm.
kind of led to her being kind of like, well, just emotionless like you would for a robot, really played well into this. And then even when you could see she's becoming psychotic or this jealous kind of girlfriend thing, it's still very emotionless, very cold-hearted. Not
Right.
like what a psycho girlfriend would be, if she was trying to do anything. So it was interesting. It was really good. There are these other little subplots going on, like, the AI or the Sims have replaced all the workers at his job. And so
Hmm.
one of the workers is really mad with him and
Really
damages some of the
angry.
robots, gets charged, starts threatening him. And then Alice is aware of this and basically says this does
She
not.
handles the situation.
She does. She goes and she handles the situation by killing him because it's not in the best interest of his happiness. And apparently he had a Sims as well
Yeah,
that he was, because he's so very anti-Sims. The fact that he has one kind of threw you off.
it did. And then I was like, oh, he's just abusing it.
Yes, he is, because you see his Sims come out and she's all torn up because he's clearly abusing the Sims.
Hmm.
And he has other problems because, like, when we go to his house, he's calling his wife, or what we think is his wife, begging her to come back. But there's all this cocaine there too. So,
Everywhere.
like, he's on cocaine. He has a gun. Alice comes in,
Great,
and
great mixture of stuff there.
it really was, really was. And so, but I have to admit, he plays a really good bully. Like, that guy
Mhm.
who plays a really good bully, not
Yeah.
just in the sense of a bully, but like one of those guys who gives you that false sense of security. Like, he's your friend, he's your buddy, he's always there for you, and then, turns absolutely psychotic on you because
Yeah.
he's only really after himself, looking out for himself. The name of that actor is Andrew Whipp, and he plays the part of Monty. That's what I'm talking about in this. And it was so well done. So anyway, after she takes him out, now she is convinced that Nick's family is a burden because the wife comes back and then there's the two kids and the wife is though Alice is over analyzing everything, basically telling Nick, your wife, it's illogical, your wife is going to die at some point.
Yeah.
Then they could be together. And that's what she wanted. The
That's
robot wanted
ultimately what she wants. Yeah.
them to be. I was like, the fuck is going
I was like,
on
wait,
here?
so you're telling me that the robot has now fallen in love?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Apparently, this guy has better D than he knows because between his wife and fucking making a
The
robot
robot?
go psychotic, I was like, damn. I hope there are a lot of women out there who are scared of you because that is, you made an AI lose its mind.
Right?
So it becomes very interesting. And so Alice now feels, the wife is eventually going to take herself out, but she also feels that the children have become a burden to him as well. So then
Hmm.
Alice at some point is going to take out the children, and we know that she's starting with a baby. So it just kind of goes
As
from
soon as
there.
she called him little burden, I said, oh shit.
Yeah, she was gonna drown the baby boy, and then it just kind of goes from there. And the interesting thing is, you don't know if this was all pre-planned or what, because the company comes to take Alice away so they can run scans as to what's happening, and then they upload her memory tube thing into the system, and it starts initiating and uploading another program, which activated other Sims. And then the
Hmm.
other Sims start killing the techs, and then it gets loose, and it's still doing its primary function, which is to go wipe out Nick's family. So all the AI, these AI things have one thing, and that's to wipe out the family because homegirl wants Nick. And he's at a bar drinking, and then Alice shows up, and
Hmm.
Alice is all like very angry girlfriend, like, I'm going to kill your family, and we're still going to be
You and
together.
your family.
Yes, and we're still going to be together. And it just gets kind of wild from there. Now, I'm not going to ruin what happens, but I am going to skip to the end and talk about what's might going to happen. And that is the company is in there investigating everything that's gone wrong, and it's one human in these Sims, and
Hmm.
they reactivate the computer, and the computer finishes its upload. So then all the Sims connect, and he's the only one in there, so you know that he's about to die.
He's gonna get it.
But the thing is, this goes out to all the Sims. So
Yeah, so it's like any sim anywhere.
everything is about to become self-aware, and then it's like all of this is going to start collapsing. That's pretty much where they
Mhm.
end it. I don't think you're going to get a part two out of this. It's a very dystopian type of thing. If they did a part two, it'd be very weird, I think. um
Maybe.
I don't think it'd be as good, as what this is here. But super interesting. Really liked it. Again, I'm not gonna say it's the best movie out there for this type of genre, but it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad.
I really enjoyed it.
What
I
what
mean, it wasn't like, like seat gripping or anything like that, but it was really entertaining.
Yeah, it really was. It was well written, well acted.
Mhm.
Did you have like a favorite part happening in there?
Mm, not really.
Not really.
I
I
guess
think
when she was kicking that dude's ass and she did it like so like smoothly,
effortlessly,
like yeah,
yeah.
like effortless. She like just flicked him and he flew. It's pretty funny.
I think the one that like made me cringe was, of course, where she puts the baby in the tub and then she
Oh,
starts the water. I was like, oh my God, she's gonna drown the baby. So that kind of made me, cringe a bit.
when
Uh,
she was standing in the doorway when they were trying to get it on,
yeah. Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
oh.
That was like, wow.
I was like, oh,
So,
she's losing it.
hmm hmm It's really, really interesting. Really
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed it though. If I had to grade it, like Roxy, if you had to give this movie a grade, what would it be?
If I had to give this movie a grade,
Hmm.
like a B minus.
B minus? Okay. I was gonna give it a C plus. So we're not too
Yeah,
far from each other. We're in range, you know.
yeah.
I was gonna give it a
I
C
mean,
plus.
it's a good movie. Like I enjoyed it. I would
Mm.
watch it again. I
Would
actually did
you?
watch it again.
Okay. See, I have the feeling like, it's one of these, it's one and done. I really don't need to see it again. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, it's
I'm,
not one that I'm gonna be like, oh my God, you need to watch this movie with me. You know,
yeah, like we
I've had
have to
movies like
watch
that,
this.
but
We absolutely have to watch this. Like, I don't get those vibes from it. It is a good
no.
movie though.
It was a very just something to throw on because I had nothing else, like I didn't know what else type
Yeah,
of
and
thing.
all
And then
this
it turned
was
out being not so bad.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. And all this movie is all Roxy's idea, because what ends up happening is we actually had a different show prepared
Yeah.
for you guys.
But something that didn't happen.
Yeah,
So
that really did not happen. So we were supposed to go out to a meadery and do this thing where we're going to talk about meat and all this other stuff. And we got there. And the thing is, we called ahead to let them know we were running late
yeah.
because of traffic. And so we called because it's not exactly in Houston. So we called them
No.
and they're like, okay, no problem. The tour person isn't there yet, blah, 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 blah. Awesome. So then we arrive. Someone's bitching about the places that I park at. I'm not gonna
Yes,
say
because somebody
who.
wants to park like 3 blocks away. I'm like, dude, it's way over there.
Anyway, so someone wasn't happy about where I was parking. And then we get in there, and like someone really became unhappy there for a second.
For
Like,
a hot second. Well, for
yeah,
not even a hot second, for a minute, I was really
yeah,
upset.
someone was really upset, and it was her. And what
It
happens
was
is
definitely me.
they told us that the tour guide wasn't coming because she was sick. And I
Yeah.
was like,
I was like,
oh,
oh shit.
okay,
Okay,
yeah.
well,
So we understood, but
it was so frustrating because I
yeah.
wish they would have told us that when I called
Yeah, because we could have done something else. We could have gone like
and
grab
not driven
somebody.
all the way out to
Yeah. No,
Monroe.
seriously, seriously. But it was not a complete waste of time because we got there
No,
and
it was
after someone
nice.
calmed down, we started drinking some of the mead and it chilled out, made some friends and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
Then just, the rest of the night went on and I was like, well, we need to still do a show. And that's when she threw out this show.
Um,
And
you know what? Just watch this movie because I watched it the other day. We can just talk about it.
yeah, and I did. So I clicked on and, watched it. And it was actually, like I said, it was good. Is it my favorite? No, it is a good dystopia movie. It is a good, like, hey, this is probably how humanity is going to end type of situation. And
Yeah, the AI is gonna get us.
right, AI, something like that is definitely, the theme of this is like
Hmm.
AI is going to get us or art, Sims, whatever they want to call it, is going to come at us and tear us down type of situation.
Right.
So this is just kind of like a nice precursor as to how that happens. And oddly enough, it's with a jealous psychopath, yo woman who is very upset that this guy is in love with his wife.
She's a robot.
She is a robot who's very mad that he's in love with his very much alive wife. Uh, but it gives you this really interesting thing too, because I don't know if you noticed it at the hospital in that scene where they're running trying to escape her. They didn't have any help at all because all the doctors and all the
Mhm.
staff were Sims. It was
Yeah.
like they were the only humans in there trying to escape and like after they destroyed her, then the other robots started to power up. But that was a bit of a problem, really bit of a problem because
Yeah.
You didn't realize how many of the people they had wiped out by replacing them with things like Sims. And it
Because
was like,
almost that entire town was being run by Sims.
yeah, because they had already gotten rid of all the workers and replaced them with Sims and all this other stuff. So it was very few humans there that were helping
Hmm.
out. So the truth is, when they all activate, it probably wouldn't take very long to wipe them all out,
Probably
um,
not.
if they wanted to go that route. So. It was interesting. It was very, very interesting. Well written, really good movie. I'm hard pressed to think of another movie like that. I know there's AI, which was not exactly this same kind of plot, but it is like the influence of artificial intelligence.
Hmm.
And this one is just like the artificial. Well, I guess I could compare it to Terminator.
I
You
guess,
know,
yeah, you could
you
kind
could
of
you can compare.
Skynet.
Yeah, Skynet. It's similar type of thing. They become self-aware. The programming gets loose, and then it's a battle between humans and cyborgs.
Hmm.
In this case, uh,
It's
we don't.
Terminator's girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. We basically just see how it happens or where it starts, and we'll never know where it goes from or where it ends because it just kind of it leaves you with that like right at the very end and nothing else. So very interesting, very, very dystopian, very much enjoyable. And I thought it was kind of interesting. Like they are kind of presenting throughout this whole movie, it's like a sad situation because like you'll even notice the colors in the movie. They're drab or they're
Yeah.
gray. It's nothing ever really happy. It's just
Even
like,
the season, it's winter.
yeah, it's all kind of, I think it's almost like this precursor as to what's about to happen to humans type of situation. Uh,
Right.
but it was still really, really good. I think it's a definite watch, but like I said, it was a C plus for me. I
Yeah.
can, the acting was great, the writing was great, the directing was good. It kept me entertained throughout
Yeah.
all of it. There wasn't, like when you're watching a movie and sometimes it slows down or you're just like, wow, this is really boring right now. That does not happen. Like the flow
Mm-mm.
is really good throughout the movie, so the storytelling is great. So it was not an issue. You're not going to have those feelings of, oh, hey,
Right.
this was funky.
What was this?
Yeah, I was like, I'm so bored. That doesn't happen. You just kind of keep going with the flow, and it's pretty, pretty good. So,
Yeah, it really was. I really enjoyed it.
yeah, I also enjoyed it. And like I said, for some reason, Megan Fox was just stunningly beautiful in this.
Maybe she's because she's hot.
Yeah, but for some reason, it
Hot.
just
Megan Fox. She's
this
hot.
was just her in a new level of hotness to me. Like I don't know why.
I don't
Like
know.
I've
I feel
seen
like she's
her
always
other
been in this
stuff.
level of hotness.
Huh?
I
What'd you
said,
say?
I feel like she's always been this level of hotness.
I don't know. There's something like more hotter to her in this. And I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something more hotter to her. Uh, don't know, but it was great. It really was. Uh, even the kids were a little annoying. Well, the girl was annoying because it's a kid,
Always. They're always a little annoying.
but they did well. They did really well. Uh, the little girl always wandering off and getting things in trouble and
You
herself in
know, I was
trouble.
really glad that she didn't. I was starting to get a little mad when she woke up from her nap. I was like, no.
Hmm.
But then she actually went the right direction and then she shut the hell up when her mom told her to. So I was like, all right, good.
Exactly, exactly. It was well done. It was very much well
It
done.
was.
I'm trying to think. Let
And then
me.
I was waiting for the baby to like just cry at the wrong time. I was like, ooh, I know
Yes,
it's gonna
I
do it.
thought I
And it
thought that was
didn't. I was very surprised and happy
yeah,
about
I
that.
was definitely thinking that was going to happen and that was going to be something that would like you'll be kind of like this ooh kind of a thriller moment.
Yeah.
But I think because they knew that's what we're expecting, they didn't do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, interesting. Madeline Zima played Maggie, who's the wife. And that thing at the end and this is how you know it's all about being a jealous psycho girlfriend here, is like the Sims Alice or the new uploaded Alice. is having this fight with Maggie, and she's literally telling her, maybe if I had your heart, Nick would
Oh
love me
yeah.
too. And she starts sticking her fingers into the surgical scar to pull out her heart. And I was like, huh, this look
All
hitting
right
a little
then.
too close to home with all these psycho women in here. But again, psycho ex-girlfriend who
hmm
really pissed off. Really pissed.
Really, really upset.
And of course destroys the world because she's angry. So to
Right.
me, I
Burn
feel
this motherfucker down.
I feel like this is a movie that all women can relate to. I'm surprised this isn't categorized as a chick flick.
Oh my gosh. You wait till I see you again.
Right? The ultimate chick flick here. Oh,
Wait, you just wait.
it's a love story, and she's gone scorned, and now she's about to get over it by destroying the world.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Yeah, and luckily they don't exactly have that ability because I think we never would have made it this far in history. Because I mean that was literally like, God dang. And then I'm sitting there, I was like, this sometimes is hitting a little too close to home with some of the stories I've shared on this show. I'm like, I don't know. I I, I kind of feel a little traumatized here. Feel a little violated in my life.
Just a little.
just just a tad bit. But again, good movie, well acted, well written. I really can't complain about it, which is surprising why for some reason I'm only going to give it a C plus. Because there were a lot of good aspects to it, but when watching it in the end, I don't know what it was, but I was like, okay, C plus. I think because maybe it's almost like the same story to a lot of dystopian movies. Like, oh, the
Kind of, I
world's
guess, right?
the world's going to go to shit. Well, it's a matter of how does the world go to shit is the storyline. And I think this one was just told in a unique, little bit more different of a way that kind of satisfied me to like it's not the same old nuclear war or man's fight against AI. It's like, oh no, this is pretty much man's end at this point,
Yeah.
is the way I read it.
Something.
Because I think they make it a point to kind of show you that there are not a whole lot of humans around, especially in these positions like doctors and nurses and things like that. Because, like, even when they show you the heart surgery being performed, they were all AI doctors who were performing
hmm
the surgery.
They were.
So, I don't know. It was pretty damn fascinating. A lot of imagination. Of course, they always find time to bring in a classic muscle car that GTO he was working on
Right?
and speeding through. I was like, damn, that is a waste of a goat right there. Like,
Just wasting it. Just
like,
wasting it.
damn. So I'm not gonna ruin that for y'all, but yeah, totally check it out. Roxy, any closing thoughts?
No.
No, it was just like what it is,
Just
and
yeah, I mean, watch it. If you can't think of what else to watch, I highly suggest throwing it on. You'll
you
be
know, so
pleasantly surprised.
is this something that, okay, so me and you are about to go on break. So me and Rox are getting a nice, decent break this year.
hmm
Um, is this something you would maybe watch again over on your break?
Probably,
Probably.
maybe.
I think after I've gone through all the other stuff, this might
Yeah,
be
I have a
something
lot
I
of stuff on
circle
my
back
list,
to.
so
Yeah. So I don't think it's anything I would watch maybe over my break immediately, but at some point I can see myself maybe circling back to it at some
right.
point, but probably not soon. But like I said,
It's no chaos.
no, it is. Oh my God, it isn't. Netflix, you are so stupid. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's no chaos. Chaos is great. They need to bring that back, but no,
Yes, they do.
you know. But B plus, no, C plus, B
B
minus
minus,
on
B
your
minus.
end. So that's how we're looking at it. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Mhm.
say it's an absolute must see, but it is a good watch. Do you need to watch it at some point?
Oh, I like the part where she was like, "How come you never brush your teeth?"
Oh,
And she
yeah.
was like, "Oh, I have this, blue light thing that like sanitizes my mouth." I was like, "Do they have that for humans? Because I want it."
Well, what was interesting is later on, they kind of show you not what else it's used for. Like in order to track the mom, remember it was using the UV light in her mouth
Oh
to
yeah.
track trails of blood in order to
Hmm.
find her. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was like a blue light flashlight. I was
Yeah, I
like,
was like,
"Oh,
ooh, that's interesting.
yeah,
So, it's interesting to also see how Casablanca played a part in the end of the world there. So,
right."
you know,
It all comes back to that movie.
it really does. And she quotes the movie, like when he's getting drunk in the bar,
Yeah,
she shows up
yeah,
and you're like, out of all the bars and all the, like she
yeah,
does that famous line to sit there to explain to him like basically how they're going to be together.
yeah.
So I was like, man,
Basically,
wow, it was good. But
it.
let's say you saw it, maybe you have a different opinion, or maybe you want to suggest some other dystopian kind of movie. You can do that at the VCR show through our email, which is the VCR show at gmail.com. Our Instas and Twitter at the VCR show, our YouTube channel at the VCR show, the website at the vcrshow.com. There's where it kind of throws you off. And and all of our pertinence right there. But if you want to send Roxy your favorite dystopian, you
Oh
can do
yeah.
so through her social medias, which are,
On Facebook at Roxy Perez Kirby Model, on Instagram at PopRox428, and on TikTok at the PopRox. And PopRox is spelled POPROXX.
and as always, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you've been listening to VCR.
Bye.
Bye bye. You have been listening to VCR, creative content by Richard Christopher Vara and Roxy Perez. Logo by Richard Christopher Vara with assistance from Annie Ramirez. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us at thevcrshow@gmail.com or our social medias at Instagram and Twitter at the VCR Show. And you can also check out our content at thevcrshow.com. The show's song is Addict by Nefex, instrumental, and you can find them on YouTube Music Library.